This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed composer, arranger, copyist, he does it all, the one and only Mark Sensinger. But before we get to our interview, here is a sneak peek at Mark's incredible talent with his song, Oyes. Well, hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well, Will. How are you today?
Mark, so great to finally meet you. And you're just a few hop, skip, and a jump away from my old college grounds of Boston College in Andover in beautiful New England. And I am here in Manhattan. This is what I love about this app. Last hour, I was speaking to an artist in Korea, and here we are speaking with one another an Amtrak away. Now, listen, Mark, I want to know first and foremost how you came up with the idea for that gorgeous, gorgeous tune, Oyes.
Well, Oyes is the name of a local Chinese restaurant. Shout out to the folks there. They've been very nice to me. They let me play there out in front sometimes when the weather is nice. I go there frequently when my daughter takes dance not far from there, and they do live jazz there. And I wrote that tune. Most of the tune was written sitting at the bar there, killing time, waiting for my daughter's dance class to be over. So I dedicated it to the fine folks there. So
Mark, I love it because it honestly, you know, in listening to all of your music, I feel like I could just close my eyes and escape, you know. And I think in a time like this, when we are all dealing with, in one way or another, a lot, and your music is incredibly soothing. And Oyes kind of gave me an old school feel. I felt like I was in the West Village with Cy Coleman and his trio in the 50s.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you were giving me some old school vibes. And I want to know, Mark, you know, where did you grow up and when did you realize that you had not only obviously an affinity for the piano, but for composing?
So I grew up just outside of Philadelphia. I was blessed to be part of a school system that had a very strong music program. And for whatever reason, that just hit me right away. I think I was about 12 years old when I decided that I wanted to start writing. And I had always been fascinated with printed music, music theory, and all of that. So I actually started writing my own stuff at the age of 12. A lot of that is probably not playable these days, but I actually did compose through high school. And there's a couple of things that I wrote when I was 17 that one or two that still, you know, survive. Ultimately, I went on to study composition at Berklee College of Music, and I've been pursuing it ever since.
Well, you went to one of the best schools there is for anything music, my friend. And in addition to obviously your composing, you're an arranger and a copyist. I think these are not only skill sets that are amazing to have in what you do as a composer, but I just want to also let the audience know, for more on Mark, you can read more about him right below this video and hire this guy to do your arranging and your copy work, because as I'm a director, that's how I make my living. But for 20 years, I was a performer, worked with many symphony orchestras, worked with many great arrangers, and with my twin brother Anthony, we were singers together. I know what it takes to be a great arranger and copyist. I feel like I have good instincts, and Mark, you have it. I think it also comes from the fact that you know what it's like to be at the keys, and you know what it's like to be in the trenches. And I'm curious, in your upbringing, with your relationship with the piano specifically, were you always interested in a certain genre, or were you kind of interested in it all?
It's an interesting question. There was a British music critic who once said of Bob Dylan that Bob Dylan wanted to be Elvis, but there was an opening for a Woody Guthrie, so he took the gig.
There it is.
And in many ways, that has kind of been my approach to a lot of things. My heart has always been in jazz, always played in jazz ensembles in schools.
So I wasn't far off with the Cy Coleman sensibility.
Not at all. Not at all. No. Ultimately, I did study jazz composition when I was at Berkeley. But I've always been on the lookout for any opportunity. I played in theater pit orchestras. Ultimately, I did a lot of arranging and orchestration for various theater shows. I did one show that we actually did a workshop in New York about 10 years ago called Boomers. Peter Barron was the name of the composer. I contributed a couple of songs, but mostly my contribution to that was, arranging and orchestration. I've also done some things for Broadway Pops International for some of their touring shows. The last year or so, as we've all been locked down, though, I've kind of really returned to sort of kind of where my heart's desire has been, which has been in jazz. So the lockdown ended up being a very productive time for me in terms of writing, and now as we're starting to come out of that, I'm trying to get some of those things recorded. It just ended up being a very, very productive time, as I think a lot of us were sort of turning inward as we were all locked down. So I really tried to take advantage of that and just had a very, very, I found myself in a very creative space during 2020 and 2021.
Well, that's amazing, Mark. And listen, I want you to bring back your Sunday brunch show. When can the audience maybe get a little sneak peek of a revival of that?
You're not the first person to ask me that. It's been a little tough this year, just my personal schedule wise. It's been a little tough finding a good slot to do that. For those who don't know, I would do live streams from my Facebook page. Either on Sunday mornings, which I called like the Sunday brunch, and then I would also sometimes do them on the weeknights, which was called the Unwind. It was either the Monday night Unwind or the Thursday night Unwind, depending on what day it was.
I love
it. And people have actually multiple people have approached me saying, "Hey, when are you going to start doing this again?" So, if you want to download my FENIX app, I'll be announcing something there, as well as on my composer page on Facebook. Some of these things I would usually just kind of do spontaneously, but the way my schedule is now, I'm going to have to plan these more in advance. So look for those coming soon.
Listen, Mark, a great problem to have. You're a busy guy, but always keeping the ball moving forward. And listen, I could speak with you forever. I want to let the audience know, for more on the incredible Mark, you can read more about him right below this video. Mark, I'm so excited you're joining this brand new social media app where you're going to be able to now, through their own live stream on the app, as you know, to be able to conduct any and all live streams you ever want to do, as well as selling any and all merch and of course, a way for people to contact you to use your services as an incredible composer, arranger, and copyist. Mark, I'm so thrilled that we're now connected as well.
Thank you. Well, I'm really excited to be part of the FENIX360 family, and I'm really looking forward to. I've got my app almost designed. I really like I've made some tweaks to it. I've got some music loaded on there, and I'm really looking forward to putting it out there for the people that follow me, and so they can download and start listening not only to my stuff but to all the other great artists that are on FENIX as well. So really excited to be a part of this.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.